You are listening to Cards with Esther and
Rachel.
A couple of opening points. Like and comment if you enjoy what you hear on whatever platform you are listening on. Follow us on Instagram, Cards with E and R, so you can comment, like, and connect with us instantly. Or you can be old school and email us at cardswithEandR@gmail.com. Okay, let's get into the cards. Okay. So today's cards are wouldn't care if they got caught masturbating, only has drunk game, and Facebook stalks.
What are we starting with?
Which card is speaking to you?
Well, let's see. I mean, we could talk about any one of these at any point in time, I guess. Do you want to start with Facebook stalking?
Let's start with that.
Right, because I feel like this can be relatable to everyone.
Legit. Because when you know...
Facebook stalked?
I used to. I don't...
Oh, are you a reformed stalker?
Well, kind of, because I don't fuck with Facebook as much as I used to.
Oh, so now what is your preferred social media stalking method then?
I haven't had a social media stalk in a while, but I still have Facebook if I need to, though.
Right.
All you need is a first and last name, and guess what, bitch?
Sometimes you don't even need that.
And sometimes you don't even need the last name. You just need a picture and be like, meh, got you.
So what were you Facebook stalking though?
Just like random people that would come up and like add, or like people that would talk to my friends. I'd be like, give me their names, because guess what? I'm going to have their life in 2 seconds.
Right. So I think that's perfect. I also on one hand, I hate Facebook stalking because I personally have had to change my Facebook name because I realized that I'm like, crap. So if I'm doing this, then is someone else doing this to me? And I'm like,
maybe.
Okay. So then, obviously I've used Facebook stalking to stalk people.
Right.
Duh.
As everyone has.
Right.
Who can say in this day and age, other than the catfish motherfuckers that somehow end up on there, and you haven't done any kind of Lord Jesus Googling, who can't use Google?
That.
How's that show still going? I love that show.
Me
number
too.
one, not to dog it, but number two, bitch, how do you not?
Well,
Google?
first off, I always get very confused when you're like, I've been seeing him for 5 years and we've never exchanged a picture.
But I love him,
right?
And I'm like, what?
But you've never exchanged a picture either,
a picture. You just heard his voice. You've never seen his face,
and his video camera is always broken.
Always, quote unquote, always broke.
I mean, let's get it together, people. It's 2019. It's not 1994. No, just stop. Where it takes 14 years for a picture to load. You're like,
oh my god,
the dial-up internet.
Struggle with dial-up. That was the worst, because when someone picked up the phone, you're like,
oh my god,
fuck,
no.
I'm trying to get on the internet and do research, quote unquote, bitch.
Right? I would just be like, ugh.
I'm trying to do life shit. Don't get on the fucking phone right now.
Right. Well, I use Facebook stalking sometimes, at work, to see, maybe potential new hires.
Oh yeah, I mean that's another thing. Or work will find your ass too.
Yeah, well,
so you
and
have to be very careful with social media.
Not even necessarily potential new hires. So part of my job, I go out and I talk to high school students sometimes about things like that, especially when they're getting ready to enter the workforce. And I love doing this demonstration. So I'm like, how many of you guys think your accounts are locked down and you're good to go? And so there's always that one kid who's super confident, and I'm like, oh, okay, well let me go ahead and do this. And so in all the years that I've done this, I've only had one kid who I have not been able to find their account. And I was like, now, did you have an account? And they were like, yeah. So they would show it to me then later. But I've always been able to find their account. And then I'm like, okay, listen, if you don't want your mama, your grandma, or Jesus to see it, don't post it.
Exactly.
And so it's a lesson that they're not learning these things because they're like, well, my employer shouldn't be able to look at this or whatever. And I was like, but here's the thing.
But if it's public knowledge, exactly. Because they're going to Google you.
Right.
Sorry.
I used to work for a recruiting and staffing agency. And that was the first thing that we would do after we made an offer to someone is we would go and look at their like social media and see. And there were times where we would have like this great candidate, but then we would have to reject them later because they're social media. And I would be like, come on, guys. Man, if you're out there doing something you don't want your mama to see, don't post it.
Or posting something that is wildly problematic, because that's what a lot of celebrities are going through now. Like, do not post something that's wildly problematic. Even though you say you're young, people will resent you for that shit. Even though it's like 10 years ago, people will be like, oh, I didn't know that you felt like that. Like, if you don't make a compelling argument like, hey, I've grown, this is how I grew up, blah, blah, blah. Like, if you don't make a compelling argument as to how your views have changed, like, people, you're definitely going to lose people. And especially your job. If they see some, like, problematic shit, they'll be like, fuck you, no.
Right. And then that's the other piece. Like when you do, so I have to maintain pieces of our social media for like my work. And there's, you know, pieces on there that like obviously I have to, you know, do. So I try to make sure that my social media is on the up and up. But apparently I was slipping not too long ago. And I was in a meeting today and someone called me out on one of my photos where, you know, I guess it's a going out photo, so I'm dressed in club attire. However, all of my bits and pieces are covered, but I guess I have my tongue stuck out and I look a little sultry. And so I was like, oh,
that one.
And I was like, crap, that was only supposed to have gone on Instagram is what I was thinking. And I was like, I thought I deleted that. So, you know, even the best of us can get caught slipping.
Yes, definitely. Because the internet never forgets. Like, you can think that you deleted something or hidden something, but like a quick Google search and the right Google search, and they'll bring up every fucking thing about your life.
Which is so scary for some of us who may have things that they never want people to find ever. And you're just like
you always have a different life between business and social. Like, of course we all do. And that's like but now you have to be very careful about shit like that. Like,
Which is why I'm like, I hope no one ever converted VHSs.
Well, damn,
thank God for that. I'm just playing. I just like to make jokes, y'all.
VHS, but
do you do?
Yeah.
The mini ones or like the full size ones?
No, like full size.
Mine were like full ones. I mean, I don't have any, but I mean, if I did, they might have been full size. I mean, I don't know. So Facebook stalking. But I mean, I think we've all done it. Like, I know for a fact that like anytime I would combine my Facebook stalking too, also with like my love of catching up for like people in high school and mugshots, and then I would go on their Facebook to see like if they would talk about why they got arrested.
Like, bitch, I saw
because I was like, oh, okay, so hold on, what were they doing right before they got arrested? And then I was like, yeah, that's why you got arrested. Like, I'm terrible like that. And then I'll call my best friend and be like, girl, after I send her the picture of like the mugshot, I was like, look at who got arrested. And then look at what they were doing. And she's like, do you not have anything better to do? And I'm like, no,
it's like public knowledge. Like, nowadays, are you surprised that I send you shit like this?
Right.
Like,
no, she's not surprised anymore. I mean, she's just like, really? Because, I mean, actually, a lot of people in my class have gotten arrested. I'm like, damn, dog. Like, what's going on? Like, what are y'all doing, man? I guess there's a lot of disorderlies, which makes me wonder.
People aren't perfect. It's crazy. Like, there was a girl that graduated with me that was in some weird shooting thing in Statesboro, and like, he shot the girl and the mom. I just don't know. It was a lot.
Wow. Thug life.
That was like a long time ago too. Right. And that was like the highlights that I remember now. But like, shit. And they like hid out forever in Effingham County. Guess what? Number 1.
I don't know where we're going with this. There was a deep breath.
You can't hide out in Effingham County.
Like, not a whole lot of places to hide.
If people know you in Effingham County, it's so tiny. If they spot you, guess what?
I saw Bobby Sue down at the corner store.
They're looking for some shit. They will rat you out in 2 seconds.
Right.
You cannot hide out in Effingham County because they're looking for messy shit. That's the highlight of their life.
Well, yeah, because then they'll talk about it for the next 15 years. It's
like,
small.
girl, I saw her and I was the one that ran.
Do you remember
out to the cops.
96? Remember 96? I remember that. You know? I mean, it's crazy.
I did that. I solved that case.
Exactly.
Like, that's all they wanted is, like, something to talk about. Like, bitch, you went nowhere. You could have went to fucking Alabama or Mississippi. You fucking went to Effingham County. You went back to your home county.
Well, I mean,
where everybody knows your ass.
Maybe they were thinking they were going to keep the secret. I don't know.
Then they totally did.
And then someone Facebook stalked them and found out.
Yeah,
those are the ones that get me, though. Like, when you post what you're doing and you're wanted. Like, I'm always like...
Or, like, when the people are in jail and they, like, post or go on Facebook Live. I'm like, stop.
There's a lot of misuse of Facebook there. But I'm glad for it because it provides me hours of endless entertainment. So I'm always like, oh, really? Like, I can't. I can't.
My Facebook, I haven't been on Facebook religiously in like 3 years. Because my Facebook profile is my sister getting married. And
which I was going to say, ago. I think it's the same. Like, I
laugh every year when people post shit on my birthday. I'm like, you think I'm going to see that? Because I get a notification. But do you think I really go on Facebook and check that?
Well, at least there's still region. Like, so Esther,
if I don't text you, if you don't text me,
MFing heartless.
Right. If you don't text me, then I'll fuck with you.
Right. Esther's hardcore. Like, I mean, I keep mine obviously because like work, but I also keep it because I've got the older people in my life who want to see like the kids and stuff. But I'll be honest, if I didn't have that, I'd probably get rid of it.
Right.
Like, my husband got rid of his social media, I want to say like a month and a half ago, and he says he has just been like so happy without it. And I'm like, I wonder what that would feel like. Like, I bet you I would have a lot more time left. And
I love Instagram now. That is my life. Like,
I like Instagram.
I don't post personally, but
I like to
will
scroll through people's
fuck on
stories.
People's shit. Exactly. Like, entirely. I'm scrolling through your shit.
Well, I'm obsessed with like the horoscopes. Like, I follow a ton of different horoscopes because I'm like, weird. Like, and I follow all of them, and I'm like, oh, look at mine for this day, and it says I should be like this, and I'm like, oh, great. But then I get angry when it's like off, and it says like I'm like an emotional train wreck, and I'm like, hold on.
But then I'm
like, no, it's not
like
off
your life.
because
Facebook
I am an emotional train wreck.
Social media is like, and what?
Right.
This is you, B.
I'm a Cancer, so I am an emotional train wreck. Like, one minute I'm like, oh, that's so funny, and then some minute I'm I mean, it's a disaster zone all over the place. But
well, I'm a Virgo, and like, some of my life has been very Virgo-ish. Like, I do love a schedule. I do love a plan. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Virgos. I've heard about Virgos.
Virgos are bitches. Which, I mean, is honestly the first reaction people get from me. I mean, you don't have to Facebook stalk me on that shit.
You definitely have the resting.
But that's why we love each other.
This is very true.
Because we are just total assholes. And we're like, cut you out my life for nothing. Like, and what's.
Esther will always have my back, which maybe moves us on to Only Has Drunk Game. I wish y'all could see Esther's face right now because she went from laughing to like, hold on, I will fight somebody.
Just last week, I had to push 2 motherfuckers, one twice, off of you and that delicious, bodacious ass of yours. God. I almost had to fight a motherfucker for you. And you know I did. I pulled up my tits. I would have.
She didn't have on a bra. And she was ready. She was like, hold on, I had to pull my titties up.
I had to pull them up because they had to be stable. You know how these titties be flopping. Like, when you're fighting and you ain't have a bra. And so I was like, let me pull my tits up. Let me, like, get ready for some war shit.
It was an interesting night, to say the least. We celebrated our friend Ashley's birthday, which was fun. Because we got to see Ashley's full range of emotions, which is always a good night.
It was definitely a full range.
Right. It was. I mean, really, it was a full range. It was like a rainbow of emotions. We were like, okay, then. And it was our last stop of the night, and we went into this club, and it was just packed. And I was making my way over to them, and I had 2 drinks, so I couldn't swat hands off. And it was
guess
just,
what? I did.
Well,
I was
I'm
your
glad.
hands.
Thank
I was
you.
like, get the fuck on.
Because I had Esther's drink, because Esther had gone to the bathroom with Ashley, and I was like, and it was just, I don't know. There was, at one point, I felt like an octopus had like jumped on me because there were so many hands, which I don't understand where dudes get off when you go in the club, like, to think you can put hands.
It's drunk game, though. It
drunk
was
game 100% drunk
they
game.
Think they are so fucking bold when they got a bunch of alcohol in them. They think they can just touch ass, tits, and vagina.
Right.
I'm just like,
I mean, I was
back.
really feeling very molested, and I was like,
You
I'm married,
definitely
I'm
were.
married, I'm married, I'm married, I'm married. Leave me alone. I'm married,
I
I'm
know.
married.
It's just
I
like,
must have said
and
it
I had
1,000
to buck
times.
up and be the butch ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
that
was
I
like,
definitely can be.
Yeah,
I was
about to be a
like,
fight
get
up
off
in
my
there.
woman.
Right.
Get off my
I mean, at
woman.
one point, Tiny Pitbull is what I call him.
Nuggets, Stephen.
Yeah, had to actually like pretend to
Even
be
he did.
basically,
Yes,
my
exactly.
husband. Like, and he was like, yeah, no, she's married, and I was just like, holy cannoli!
It was a lot.
It was a
Like
whole lot.
dudes definitely have drunk game. Like when they
Right.
have like 2 shots of whatever the fuck they're
Usually
drinking,
I
they're
think
like,
it's dark
guess what?
Liquor.
Muscles. I got my Popeye shit on. Like
Right.
I'm gonna go hit on a bitch, which means I'm gonna tap their ass and
Right.
see if they're interested.
I don't think I've had really
What
any
woman?
good drunk game though. Like it's usually super
No.
aggressive. It's never really respectful. It usually
Exactly.
involves like someone touching me without
Yes.
permission.
Exactly.
And it just, I mean, I can't really honestly. I mean, I've had some funny ones where I like that one guy who thought I happened to be a black woman, which
Yeah.
I'm not. You know, that one was
just
funny.
Of that bodacious boulder.
Yeah, I mean, he
From
was
the back,
confused.
He was legit shook.
I mean,
when
he
you
really
turned
was.
around
He really was.
and you were like, "Hey!"
I was all
It's
like,
"Oh, white."
he was like,
woman.
"What?" He was very confused. He had like the meme question marks over his face, like
Very
what?
much
Like
the
it was
fucks?
quite funny. But for the most part, like the drunk game that guys have at that point is
Oh
just
man, it's
no
ridiculous.
good.
Like how? I mean, like.
I've had
if
some
we
really great
touch-
pickup
but
lines though.
It's like shitty because if the roles were reversed and we touched a dude in some sexual way, he'd be like, "Oh shit,
Right.
this bitch wants something."
Right.
He'd be like, "Oh fuck, a bitch is interested."
But I almost feel like
And
maybe
we're
one
just
night
like-
we should do an experiment like that and just see what happens. Like we should just get really filthy dirty and like extra aggressive and just say
just
like
touch dicks.
well, just be like completely no, maybe just like go straight for the reach around from
yeah.
behind.
Oh.
Because that's like super aggressive, right? And maybe we go for the reach around from behind and be like, "What's up, little motherfucker?" Like,
That's kind
and
of what they do
like, I mean,
when
really,
they come
and say,
behind
like,
you and dance and their dicks hard, and it's
Right.
like, "Oh, excuse me."
and maybe we just get extra aggressive just for a social experiment and say to them, you know, all sort of the nasty things, and we just role reverse it and see what happens.
Oh, I like
And then when
those.
you know, we'll just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't enjoy that." Well, neither do we. So knock it off when you start
if
doing
you're
your
a
game.
dude in
Here's how you
Savannah,
actually
Georgia,
approach a woman.
and you get dick touch, it's me and Rachel. And enjoy it.
Or we might just start flicking your balls instead. If it,
I mean,
you know, you
shit.
never know how we might feel that night.
You don't. If your
Because when
dick
you
and balls are touched in Savannah,
Correct.
Georgia, it's me and Rachel. Don't
I mean,
worry.
I will always flick some balls. Don't have them out. I mean, I'm just saying, I'll just flick them. I
They
mean,
would
I don't
not
know.
like that.
Because at the
they would drop to their knees. Like men are so sensitive about their junk. They're just like,
get over it.
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Do you? Well, then barf. I don't care. Like,
Barf, motherfucker.
I don't care. I don't know. Like, it's super aggressive.
It's so like
What was the
especially
worst-
at the bars. It's just like get the fuck back. Like who
Either that
wants
or
you
buy
to
me
do
a
shit
drink
like
and
that?
then leave me alone.
Number one, at least.
Right? I
At
mean,
least get me some alcohol.
That's
Maybe
my
I'll
whole
be.
point.
Maybe I'll laugh at your
Well,
dumb
that's
shit.
the other piece.
And then walk
like,
away
if you're gonna
beautifully.
holler at me, at least come with something.
Offer something.
Like, don't just come at me with grabby hands. Like, you better come at me with a drink in your
right?
hand that you didn't
Something,
roofie.
shit.
Like I need to go to the bar with you.
You never know.
I need to go to the bar with you, place my own order, watch the bartender make it. You need to pay for it, and then I need to dismiss you or do whatever. I'm not really quite sure at that. Well, obviously I'm going to dismiss you. I'm married, but like,
obviously,
you know, I'll let you talk to my friend.
Least, like,
I'll send you on to my single friend.
Before you grab an ass or a tit, say like at least offer me something in return. Shit,
right. I mean, what did I get out of it?
If I turn around and grab your dick, you think it's on. Like, no, motherfucker, it ain't on.
Well, it depends. Maybe we just grab him extra hard and see what happens.
Okay.
Because when I was
drop
getting,
him to his knees,
molested, and then we just giggle. Then because they think it's funny, and then we just like, oh, I thought you like that.
Bye, bitch.
And then we just were like, oh, because we don't like to be grabbed aggressively either.
Sluts.
Maybe that's the goal. Maybe we need to bring out, food serving tongs.
Oh,
so we don't actually have to have them. We can get little. They have the little baby ones that we can put in our
transferable.
Yes.
So.
Wait, I wasn't trying to grab a naked wiener, were you?
I mean, if they're on their wiener, they're on the pants.
Right. But, wait. Oh, Esther's in healthcare. My bad. Thanks for schooling me, Esther.
They're like on the underwear that gets on the pants.
Oh, okay. So, well, I wasn't trying to go down. I was just trying to grab the outside. But what I was saying was we would get a better grip if we brought little Macarena tongs. Like little
Macarena?
Macarena? Oh, my God. I'm so country. I said Macarena.
What's this hoe talking about? What?
So where they
the
do
macaroon? Those are the bells, though.
No, but I want the little tiny food server tongs that are super cute for and so we'll just put them in our little hands, and then we can just, they're like secret tongs, and we can just snip and grab, and then just they can be like, what the. And then we'll just be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And because we're cute, they'll just be like, oh. And then we'll just be like, oh, sorry. We didn't like to be aggressively grabbed either when you have your drunk game, because it doesn't work. And we're just on our drunk game, so we just thought we'd give it back to you.
It works on hoes, but there's no bitch that likes to be grabbed like that. There's no female that wants to be aggressively grabbed.
Well,
especially when you're drunk.
When I was walking through there, I couldn't even tell you how many sets of hands were on me. And that to me was like a problem. And because I've got 2 drinks in my hand, I felt really taken advantage of, because I can't
swipe a hand off.
Well, I just paid for these flipping drinks. So what do? Do I chug them both at the same time and then just go full on
in a motherfucker's face?
What was that? RoboCop punching? I don't even remember.
That's the worst, because I don't know if shit was reversed and you hit on a guy like that, they'd be like, oh my God, flattered.
Yeah,
some guys would. Now, not to say that guys can't be sexually harassed. No. But most men would just be like, oh, a girl's interested? I'm going to pursue this shit. And it's oh, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah, I'm over it. I mean, but I also, at the same token, just don't, just please be respectful. If you're going to approach me, obviously I'm married. Yeah. But you may not realize that right away because you're drunk.
Drunk game is aggressive game for most men in Savannah. It's excuse me, motherfucker.
Well, and I guess my whole point is how often does it work?
Exactly. You touch a tit or an ass,
and then they're
how much pussy do you really get from
happens from there? That's my question.
For real.
So how many times do you get the actual
who's
return on investment?
That's so funny. I'm a
where
fuck you
I'm
now.
Right. Where if it were let's say I were single and somebody grabbed my, and I would be like, yes, let's do this. You just totally sexually assaulted me.
Yeah, exactly.
So I am
unwantedly
now ready
what the
to
fuck?
do this.
No female.
No one ever. I mean, I guess there's obviously, it's got to work though at some point because men keep doing it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it would be interesting to see and hear that point. Maybe what I'm going to do next time I get molested is be I'm married, but how often does it work when you molest someone without their permission and then you actually take them home?
Like, have a legit conversation with these motherfuckers.
Right. I might, well, it depends on how, like, argumentative I feel at that moment. Because I may just be wanting to have a good time and I may just try to brush them off. Sometimes I don't want to argue with people. Unlike last episode where we'll argue over everything. But, I mean, sometimes I may want to argue.
It depends on if I get involved. Because then you'll be like, oh, bitch, I got you.
Right. Well, maybe we'll just, next time it'll happen, what we'll do is we'll just slowly move them to the corner
just, like, mental
and then
fuck
corner
with them. And
yes.
that's a female drunk game
Correct.
Shit. Like, mental
But that is
fuckery.
what I do all the time when I get wasted.
We don't even need
because
exactly. We're mental bitches.
Mentally challenge people.
I will mentally fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can physically fuck me, but guess what? I got your ass.
Right.
Like,
and I just
when you're sober the next day, you'll be thinking about what the fuck I said.
I can't even remember where we were at, but I remember one night, like, maybe I wasn't out with you guys. Oh, there was this kid on this moped who came. I felt so bad. So I was out at another bar with Kristen. No. Yeah, I was with Kristen and Jason, and it was this little hole-in-the-wall bar after, like, a work event or whatever, and this kid on this moped comes up. He had to be, like, I don't know, maybe 21, and I was like, sweet ride, bro. And so he proceeds, and he didn't realize that I was, like, totally effing with him, but he didn't realize that, and so, like, he proceeds to tell me all about his moped, and he was like, yeah, I can take you on a spin around the block, and Jason is over there, like, losing his crap and trying to keep it together because he knows that I am, like, totally giving this guy, like, the hardest time ever. But I'm like, yeah, so, like, how many, RPMs and stuff does it have? And he's, like, telling me all this stuff. And I am just being, like, the biggest dick right ever. Now? And the guy is, like, thinking I'm total. And I feel kind of like an asshole for it, but I don't care. So I'm just kind of, going with it. And, of course, Jason is like, dude, you are such a douche. And I was like, right? He was like, but that guy was totally ready to take you on a ride on his moped around the block. Exactly. And he was like, how did he not realize that you were being an a-hole to him? He was like, it must be because you're pretty. And I was like, it could be or whatever. I was like, I don't know. Dudes
and
get
he
distracted.
Really fucking loves that moped.
I was like, I'm not going to lie. I was like, I totally was half tempted if he would have let me drive the moped myself and he could have ridden, bitch.
Ooh.
And he was like, you would have drove his moped and let him ride, bitch? I was like, yeah. I was like, you would have watched out for me, right? And he was like, yeah, I guess. I was like, all right, well, there you go.
Well, we got it, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Do you know anybody that wouldn't care if they got caught masturbating?
Sure, me. I don't care.
You say that. You have kids.
It's natural. Well, all right. It depends. So here's the thing. I guess it depends on how what you're using, how you're doing it,
right.
Where it's at.
Like, how nasty are we?
All right.
I don't do public shit.
All right. Hold on.
Okay.
All right. So there's like two pieces to this. Do I want my kids to walk in on this? No. Would I mind if my husband did?
Yeah.
I would not give a damn.
Right.
Because then I would hope at this piece I would be like, well, hello, sir.
Exactly.
Clearly, I'm doing this like because I have some needs that need to be met here. So you're here. Let's meet my needs. Like, are you ready? Get ready. Be ready. You should instantly be ready. Walk in the door ready. Ready to go.
Ready.
So, and on the other hand, I'm kind of like, whatever. But then there's like a voyeurism piece of it. So like, all right. Oh my God. No, like you never listen to this. So like, if there were other like randos and I had to, I don't know, handle my business. Because sometimes you just have to handle your business. You have
to, yes.
And like, you were spying in my window? Well, I don't give a damn. That's on you. Am I going to report you later? Probably. But, it's not like I'm going to invite you in. Right. But I'm still, like, not going to, like, quit.
Like,
I might move.
Like, you are interrupting my space.
Right. And my time is limited with this.
Exactly. We've talked about this
before. If you catch me in the 3 minutes it takes me, well,
guess what? You're in for the ride.
Right, exactly. Unless you're my kid, then God bless you. I might have to stab you in the eye so you never see anything again, ever, and we'll never talk of this again.
Well, guess what? You will never bother mommy again.
You damn well better knock.
without knocking. Exactly.
Right.
You will never barge in ever in your life.
But on that very same note, have you ever caught anyone masturbating? And if so, what did you do?
Even though I grew up with an older brother, I've never caught him masturbating. But I have caught him showing off in the mirror in the shower because he was taking so goddamn long. And I was like, motherfucker, I gotta get in there.
Showing off?
You know what the fuck I mean. You know brothers. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
Flexing
that
and
piece?
like...
I thought that was not normal male behavior.
Is that...
I didn't realize that there was like a... I guess I just...
Showing off in the mirror, because who the fuck are you doing that for?
Well, Nate does that still. Is that not... I'm not trying. I'm being dead fucking serious. Sometimes he'll walk past the mirror and like flex and just. I guess it's a dude thing. Is that not?
Maybe
Theon, do you do that?
No. Yeah. No.
Hold on.
I don't know because I've caught my older brother doing that. I've never seen my little brother doing that.
I've seen
No, I don't do that. I mean, I don't have the greatest body in the world, but I know I've gotten out of the shower sometimes and it's been like nice and warm, and I walk by and see my lower half and I'm like, all right, good for you.
Okay. No, Theon takes like 30-minute showers though, so I'm always wondering what he does before and after the shower, and that's what my brother was doing, was flexing in the fucking mirror while a bitch had a pee.
Well, Theon's about to tell us.
And it's like my me time.
He said masturbating.
Oh, okay.
He meant
masturbating. Masturbating, which is cool. That's healthy. Shit, you should.
I mean, it's
whatever.
Like
deliciously
just
hot
don't
and
use her
steamy.
Good conditioner or shampoo, because then she will shank you.
We have separate showers now.
Oh, that's really nice.
Because I use I guess you would say the guest shower.
Yeah.
Because I get up earlier than him, so I'm just like, I'll be respectful.
That's very nice. So I've
never actually caught anybody in the act, and I've never been caught in the act because, like I told, like last episode, I'm just like, you know what? I know when Theon comes home, so like literally, I got all day to stroke it. Like I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I guess like to me, I don't. All right, so you know, Nate's in the military, so I guess there's a piece where I would just be like, if he was like, send me a video, I would be like, okay. So does that count? But he's not that type. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I was like, all right, whatever. So I haven't sent any videos. Then I feel like, all right, getting back on topic. Moving on. So I have caught, so there's been there's been like 2 or 3 instances.
Would that be catching someone masturbating if you like had a video and like you weren't supposed to see it, but you somehow saw it on somebody else's computer?
Maybe.
Because you a Snoopy ass bitch.
I think so. I think that would count.
Would that be it? It was like, Matt. I know how big your dick is.
Maybe. I mean, I think you'd side-eye them forever.
Right? Just be like,
or at least side-eye their package. I don't know.
Or the girl would be like, I don't know what them titties look like.
Right? Something. I mean, I don't know.
Y'all freaks.
So, on a side-eye note, so there was in 7th grade. I wonder if everyone has a story like this.
Okay.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
There was this kid. He was a bigger kid, like a chubby kid. I don't remember his name. I went to a military school, so like everybody came in and out. He was like a newer kid. He had only been there like 2-3 months, but he didn't have really any friends. But I remember we were in like science class. We had these bean bags at the back, and science was during that lunch period, so it was like a block period. Yeah. And it was after lunch. We had all watched like, ironic note, I'm old, Lisa Ling got her start on Channel 1 News everyone used to have to watch.
Yes.
Right. So you used to have to watch Channel 1. Lisa Ling was on that mug.
Bitch.
Okay. So we would all gather in like the soft area of the science classroom, which had like bean bags and stuff. Ooh. Some of us would sit at desks, but then there were bean bags. Mm-hmm. This kid, there was a hole in one of the bean bags. Yes, I'm going there.
No.
Yes.
Am I ready?
You're not ready. You're not ready.
Okay, keep going.
So It was, and he always, our science teacher, Mr. Newton, ironically, who taught science, like Isaac Newton. Right. He was actually a really great science teacher. But long story short, he always dimmed the lights. I think it's because he probably took a nap. But anyway.
You hosts watch this.
We heard
take a nap.
You know when you hear the rustling of the bean bags?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, not the bean bag.
He was sitting on one beanbag and had the.
Oh, I bet he was sitting on
He
that.
was. He had the one beanbag that did not have the hole, and then he had the holy beanbag
on top of him. Excuse me, sir. One beanbag per motherfucker. Like, fuck the one beanbag, but get off of this other one.
Because he would have had to like lay down.
Exactly. Like,
and whatever. So yeah. So then he was. Yep. He sure was. He was master. But the way everyone found out is because the little beans, the little foam beans.
Were they stuck to his deck?
Well, first, yes, they started going
or
all
his,
over.
like, zipper
They
and
started
pants?
going all over the floor. And then, like, everyone was kind of like, they heard all this noise. And then, like,
he
they
was
turned
even
around.
making noise.
No. Yes. But then the beanbag rustling. The beanbag was making like the beanbag noise.
Right. I love beanbags.
And
but now I don't anymore.
Now you have a different thought
It would
of them.
never happen.
But then, so obviously there was all this, and everybody kind of turned around, so he kind of chucked the beanbag away. But then it had like tucked his shit in, but there was all of the like leftover foam beans right next to where his, zipper and shit was. So everybody knew what was happening. And I was like, oh my God. So yeah, he was jerking off to Lisa Ling in a beanbag and Channel 1 News.
I hope he grew up to be a rice king because he loved the Asian.
I hope so too. But all I know is that I remember I had to ask my friend Laura because I was like, what the fuck? Like, because I was naive. Like, I was like, what did he just do?
Right.
And Laura was like, oh.
As most kids would have been. I mean, like, what, 7th grade? Like, excuse me.
Well, now 7th grade, they know all sorts of stuff.
Well, now because of the internet. But, like,
but I remember
then,
our teacher was like,
I didn't give a
horrified.
fuck about shit like that.
Like, our teacher was horrified. Mr. Newton
school,
was
right.
like just traumatized. He was like, his face was. So I knew it was bad.
Middle school science teacher found out to be a pedophile.
Oh,
God.
God.
No, it was my history.
That took a sideways turn.
It did. Well, I was just talking like you were talking about teachers and being horrified, and I was like, probably mine wouldn't have been. I was like,
no, maybe not.
He might have teacher though.
Oh God, we're getting real dark. All right, we're not gonna get that dark. And then the second time actually involves blackmail.
Okay.
You ready? So
Yes.
I have a brother. God, I'll never be able to share this. I'm not gonna name him. So I have two brothers. It's one of my brothers. Let's just leave it at that. And I had to have been a senior in high school, and so he was a freshman. And oh shit, that probably just gave it away.
I was about to say, you have like
whatever, it's okay. Yeah. So anyway, whatever. So I left with my boyfriend at the time, and we were going somewhere, and it was during the summer, and I forgot something at the house, and I had only been gone like 5 or 7 minutes or whatever. So I came back, and I went in like the front door, and you got to walk through like this living room or whatever to get to the dining room where we watch TV. And when I walked in the front room, I heard and then and I was like, what the hell? And so then I heard feet running, and then I heard like the static.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like,
but like people now, like younger people nowadays, don't know what that static.
So that's what
sounds like.
So that's the static from the TV. Like when you turn the TV, and it was like.
Do you remember when the American was it the national anthem used to play, and an American flag would wave,
and then the TV would go off.
Static.
Yes, that's how old we are. For you kids
shit.
don't know that,
Legit
TV
shit.
would not run 24 hours a day back in the day, and you
Guess
couldn't
what?
watch your shows whenever you wanted to. You only had to watch them on the nights that they actually came on. You couldn't
shit.
skip commercials. Like shit was rough. Okay, so be thankful.
Rough.
Be very thankful for what you have. Okay,
I don't even know.
Right? So all right. So anyway, so I come in and I hear the right. I know I can't stop with the long story short. I know it's my favorite word.
I didn't want to say anything.
Esther's
her
laughing.
Favorite word.
It
long
is.
story short,
But they're never short.
I love it though.
The long story short is never actually short.
I love the long story short
because it's never actually short. I should say long story long because it's a lie when I say long story short.
I'm in for the ride.
Well, that's good because it's a long one.
And that's how I know it's a ride. I'm in for it.
When I say long story short. All right. Moving on. Because I almost did it again. So, static. And then I come in and I just see the TV and I'm like, what the hell? But then I look over and I see like the rapture has come because there's nothing but like just my brother's clothes, but no brother. And so we have a TV going and clothes, no brother. And then I look on the table and on the table is, for you kids out there, VHS. Okay.
Oh my God.
It's the VHS case cover of the Kama Sutra. Brown chicken round.
When you can Google that shit.
Right. So I slowly
Wait.
I put what?
Just question. Was
Sure.
it like white people on the cover? Was there actual legit
there
Indians?
was okay, no. This is a really good question. So there was this was like an early 90s version, okay? So there was really big 90s hair. There were 2 white couples and then there was like an interracial couple. It was and then there was like another brown couple on there. So it was very ethnically
wide range.
diverse.
Okay, I'm about it then.
And obviously, I know that because it's burned into my memories. Because you'll know why in a minute. Because I told you the story involves blackmail. So I put 2 and 2 together right there. I look at the rapture clothes. I hear the static. And I see the Kama Sutra tape. And I say, oh, shit. I said, oh. And I got so excited. I was like, that's it. I was like, I'm telling Mom. And that's what I yell out. And I'm clapping. And I'm like, I'm telling Mom, you're going to be in so much damn trouble. I can't wait. I was like, I can't wait. Your ass is going to get grounded. Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, some of you who actually like your siblings are probably like, God, why would she be such a bitch? Well, let me tell you. It's because my brother and I had like this competitive
sibling love.
Correct. We had this competitive like nature where he was forever being a dick and was always up in my shit, forever finding things to tell on me. And it was like I would get grounded and my mom would write this shit on the calendar and it would be like, Rachel grounded for her mouth. Well, duh. Okay, I was always grounded for my mouth. But I would be grounded for like 3 weeks. This fool would go ahead, bust like holes and shit in the wall, do some dumb shit, break stuff. He's supposed to be grounded for 3 weeks. He would annoy my parents so much that they would let him off in 3 days.
I was going to ask because like my mom was a single mom. So she would be hardcore for like a couple of days. And then
with everyone?
Yeah, and then she'd forget because there's 4 fucking kids that you gotta fuck up. So you would know who's on what schedule. I was the only girl. My groundation, I literally was grounded all the damn time. But my brother, because he would just be annoying as shit, my mom would be like, I'm done. I don't care. Just go. Just get out of my face. Just go. And I'd be like, what the hell? And I would literally pull the calendar off the wall and I would be like, but I wrote it on here. And she's like, he's on my nerves. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I get on your nerves too. And she's like, no, your mouth keeps you grounded. And I was like, your mom was very Asian because like my Korean mom was like, these boys can do no wrong.
And there was a lot of that.
But because you have a vagina, you do everything wrong.
Right.
And it was like,
so there was a lot of pieces where like because I got punished extra because I had a vagina. And I was like, but ironically, I am the most responsible. Correct. And it didn't work. It didn't work.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Best and the worst.
But
all
you know,
at the same time.
As a mom now of 2 girls and a mom of, I've got a son too. Like I struggle trying to find that fair piece because I kind of get, you don't. I mean, it's hard.
Because it's the
Just
worst
gonna lock
when
them all up
when you
instead of the
have a
boarding
girl and she says, "Yo, I'm pregnant." But when you have
that
a dude,
damn well better never happen.
when you have
kill
a
somebody.
son that's like, "I got a bitch pregnant," it's like, well, what's your problem?
Right.
What
I'll
are
be
you
like,
worried
somebody
about?
better get a damn job.
Exactly.
I'm hunting
what are you
down
worried
all
about,
sorts of
motherfucker?
mofos. I'm hunting down everybody. I don't even want to think. Esther just gave me an aneurysm. I swear to God. Because y'all know I'm going to have 3 teenagers at the same time. I'm going to be like,
That was legit shit.
Oh, God. That's too real life. Let me get back to my blackmail because that's so much better. It gives me good memories. That like these future memories are stressing me out.
Blackmail.
Hot damn. Anyway, all right. So I'm like, you're grounded. I'm gonna tell mom. Blah blah blah. And he's like, so then I don't know where he's at still at this point. So I'm just yelling this shit through the house, right? Because it's still the rapture. And next thing I know, I see this head pop up from the side of the couch, and he was like, Rachel, don't tell mom. I'll do anything. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, fine. Then he comes and he stands up, right? Why does this a-hole have my blanket wrapped around his naked ass? I was so mad. I said, oh, hell no. You got my blanket wrapped around your naked ass? I was like,
legit.
I'm so
like,
mad.
he didn't have a fucking blanket. Or, like, there was not a living room blanket that he could have fucked with.
Apparently not. He took my blanket, which was made me... I still get feelings about this. I still have this blanket, and every time I look at it...
Was your bedroom, like, closest to the living
it was.
room?
It was.
That's why.
Right, but it doesn't...
Lazy.
That must have been the running. That must have been...
Lazy ass motherfucker, because if your bedroom would have been further, it wouldn't have been your blanket. Like, that is lazy
it
ass
must have
shit.
been the running. That must have been the running, I heard. So after the static. So anyway, so I basically conned my brother and blackmailed him to do the dishes for me for like a year, almost a year and a half, until one day he was like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. And I was like, fine, I'm telling mom. And he was like, I don't give a damn, tell her. So I did. I came in there and I marched straight in there, and he was home and I was home, and I was like, Mom, Joel was, oh shit, I just said his name, my bad, whatever. I love that I try to keep him anonymous and just bust him out. Listen, y'all, he'll probably never listen to any of this shit. Joel was bad as hell when growing up, so lots of my stories involve Joel. So most of the time they don't involve my younger brother Dylan. So if you have a question, it's probably Joel. So, or Joey, as I tried to name him. So anyway, I was like, Joel was masturbating to your Kama Sutra tape, Mom. And she was like, what? Blah, 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 blah. I don't want to hear this. And I was like, I was so mad because I was like, what? You're not going to ground him? And she was like, no, I'm not talking about this. And I was like, what the hell? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, and Joel's like, see, I shouldn't have done your dishes for a year and a half. And she was like, he did this how long ago? And I was like, a year and a half or so ago. And she's like, I wondered why he was doing your dishes all the time. I was like, yeah, well, I guess he won't be doing them anymore.
Guess what? Should have known.
Right? So I'm just like,
shit.
whatever, man. I don't know. I'm just like, okay.
I think that's the sibling thing to do. Because you're just like, nah, I caught you, motherfucker.
I mean, I will
nasty.
still blackmail the hell out of, like, my brother if I had to. Like, I mean, I think that's what you do, right?
Legit. Like, yo, I got shit on you, bitch. Try me.
Right.
And that's why your friends, like, I think, like, when your friends are, like, real family, it's like, I got shit on you.
Right. We can never,
me, bitch.
like, Esther and I can never not be friends. So, like, I'm like, you can never not be my friend
me,
because we're like, no, you know too many of my secrets.
But that's, like, legit love.
It really is. It really is. Like, Esther and I would have to kill each other before we could not be friends.
Yeah.
It'd be like a duel.
That'd be on our gravestones. These hoes weren't right.
I love that. These hoes weren't right.
It'll be a hologram of our bullshit.
Oh, God, I might actually really put that in my will.
These hoes aren't right.
For real. These hoes ain't right. I love it.
Legit
that might
shit.
be my next tattoo.
Nah, these hoes ain't right.
This hoe ain't right.
This hoe ain't right.
What if I put that hoe ain't right and put an arrow? And you can put that hoe ain't right and put an arrow too.
Love
Done.
it. Friend tattoos.
Done. Love it. Love it. Oh my God. Redonkulous.
Okay, I think we have satisfied our 3 corns.
I think so.
They're so satisfied right now.
Like,
your brother is
getting
like
caught.
satisfying that shit. I wonder if your parents, like, my question is were your parents still like into that VHS at the time, and they were just like,
I think so. I think so.
We nasty because we older, but you nasty because you young.
So because I'm pretty. Okay, so here's my thing. I know for a fact that they had that VHS for a grip, and they might still have that VHS because they still have a VHS player.
Oh my
which
God.
makes me suspicious.
I could play my VHS with them.
Oh shit. Esther, there's a time for a road trip.
I have.
We just take them all up there.
I used to have Titanic. I don't think I have Titanic.
But I used to have Titanic too because it had
on some dumb shit. Yes!
And they made me get rid of all of the VHSs recently.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? And he was like, we don't
know.
have a VHS player. I was like, but someone does. And my parents apparently do.
And they'll be $30.
Right.
To watch the shit.
Right. So, yeah. But
you don't know my life.
I think they might still be watching it. I don't know because they still have a VHS player. And I will tell you, the last time I was up there, I didn't see any VHS tapes.
Gross.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for listening to Cards with
Rachel
and Esther. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.